You know that feeling, right? That little gap between the English you learn in a textbook and the English you actually hear people speaking every day? Well, today we're going to dive in to how to close that gap and start sounding more like, well, you.
So, stop. Before you say another single sentence in English, ask yourself, does it really, truly sound natural? Think about it. Are the people you hear around you, on TV, in movies, in songs, are they really talking the way your textbook taught you to?
Well, today we're going to pull back that curtain. I'm going to show you exactly how to start sounding confident, fluent, and just wonderfully human. All right, so let's jump right in. First up, we've got what I call the textbook trap. It's this funny idea that focusing way too much on being perfectly correct can, ironically, make you sound a little awkward in a real conversation. So let's figure out why that is.
Okay, this right here really gets to the whole thing. The goals are completely different. See, textbook English is all about building a solid, strong foundation. It's about perfect grammar, formal clarity, which is absolutely essential if you're writing an essay or giving a formal presentation. But everyday spoken English, that has a totally different job. Its main goal is connection. It's about speed, ease, and just sharing your ideas. Think of it like this. They're two different tools for two very different situations.
So if textbook English isn't the whole story, then what is? Well, that brings us right to our next section. The sound of real English. We're going to look at how people actually talk in their day-to-day lives.
You know, the best way to really understand the difference is to just see it in action. So let's compare how you might handle a few super common situations looking at the textbook way versus the real-world way. This is where it starts to get fun.
Let's start with something simple, like a greeting. A textbook might teach you to say, "How do you do?" And look, that's not grammatically wrong or anything, but it is very formal. Kinda old-fashioned. In the real world, you're so much more likely to hear a friendly, "Hey, how's it going?" or maybe, "What's up?" You can feel the difference immediately, can't you? It's just shorter and way more relaxed. Okay, next up, ordering food. A textbook might have you saying, "I would like to order 1 hamburger, please." And yeah, that's perfectly polite, totally correct. But listen to how people actually order in a busy cafe. It's more like, "Can I get a hamburger?" Or even more direct, "I'll have the hamburger." It just gets straight to the point. Speed and ease, remember?
Oh, this example is just perfect. Making plans. A formal phrase like, "Shall we meet at approximately 8 o'clock?" I mean, that sounds like you're scheduling a meeting between world leaders. The natural, friendly way to say it is just, "Want to meet up around 8? You see the shortcuts we're taking? Wanna for want to, and around 8 instead of approximately. This is the real music of spoken English.
So to kind of sum it all up, natural speech has a few key ingredients. We are constantly using contractions, turning "I will" into "I'll." We use filler words, like or like, just to give our brains a second to think. We connect our words, turning "want to" into "wanna." And generally, we just use simpler, more direct language. And the most important thing to remember is this. These are not mistakes. They're actually the features of true fluency.
And this brings us to our final, and honestly, our most important section today. It's time to reframe your goal. Let's talk about shifting your focus away from perfection and onto something much, much more powerful: connection. I want you to really let this idea sink in. Clarity, not perfection, is the goal of communication. Your objective isn't to sound like a textbook that's been brought to life. It's simply to make sure that the other person understands your thoughts, your ideas, your feelings. That's it. That is the entire game. So, what's your path forward from here? Well, it's pretty simple. First, listen differently. Don't just hear the individual words, listen for the music of the language, the rhythm, the flow, the little shortcuts. Second, and this is a big one, embrace imperfection. Every single mistake you make is just proof that you are trying and that you are growing. And finally, shift your aim. Instead of trying so hard to be correct, focus on being understood. Aim to connect. True fluency will naturally start to follow from there, I promise.
So I'll just leave you with this one last question to think about. As you continue on your English journey, what if the most fluent, the most natural, and the most human thing you can do is to simply give yourself permission to stop trying to be perfect?